Good evening and welcome to the February 10th Town of Proctor Select Board meeting. If you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Motion would be in order to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Are there any additions, deletions? Hearing none, all those in order, all those in favor?
Aye.
A motion would be in order to approve the January 27th Select Board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Open public comment. Good stuff. I was trying to think. Oh, good stuff. Caden Austin is the valedictorian and Zoe Reynolds is salutatorian. Those were announced this week.
Saw that.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the radio, I think when I was home or something, and they mentioned about Proctor's band getting the award, which I thought was unusual. He was just talking and he's like, oh, congratulations to Proctor. So
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of nice.
Yeah. And there are 4 kids that went up to, I can't remember, this other band thing up north. And I can't remember. Jonas, Olivia, Jada, and I think Isaac. I know there were 4 that went, so they were selected, so yeah, good stuff going on. All right. The bills have circulated. Everyone signed them.
Yes.
All right, and we have the tax map maintenance proposal.
So this is the company that we use right now. It's through CAI Technologies. In reviewing the contract, they have increased their price. They were $1,200 a year, and now they're $1,400 a year. You know, I kind of read through this and I question. I just feel like there's so many hands in the pot. Like I just kind of question how we do appraisals and how we enter them in, and then we have someone else doing the maps and update those and stuff. And I feel like last year they did it, and there was like 6 months where people had purchased houses and the maps were never updated to the new owners, and that really causes a lot of problems when we run into sales and stuff. So, I mean, I'm all for if you know, it's a service I'm sure we need, but I would just like to basically kind of reach out to them too and just say, you know, kind of give them some parameters that I'd like. Plus, we had a bill last year that was $3,000 on top of this, and it had the thing was for some kind of web assistance. So I don't know what that was all about. If it had to do with the whole transitioning of reappraisal,
Or is
and
it
different
because
software?
Because it's on the website. Is it that?
I
Because
don't.
the map is on the website.
Right, but I mean, I don't feel we're getting money's worth if we're paying $3,000 plus $300 a quarter. You know, it's like it doesn't. We don't have that many houses turning over where that map has to be updated a lot. So.
Well, it'd be interesting to know what the 3,000 was for.
Yeah, I don't know if it had to do with all the transitioning with the reappraisal, changing softwares and all of that. So, but I'm happy to have you guys if you want to approve it, or just wait and.
Yeah, let's wait and see what
And I'll just reach out.
3,000 was for.
Okay.
And then maybe reach out to them and see like, what is the time frame? Like, let's say a house sells in, I mean, how do we update it? Is it updated quarterly?
Well, that's just it. And I had checked downstairs, and I think it's whenever a house is sold, they get the information up here, and it's up to them to kind of go in and make the changes and let them know. And then they update the map.
Oh.
So, but there seemed to be last year a big lapse of a lot of properties that weren't updated.
So up here is responsible to get the
To get
information
them, yes,
here.
yes.
And
So,
so did all the houses that got sold last year, were they updated in the current map now?
they should be updated, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm gonna double check with them and I just kind of want like a logistics
Yeah,
chart of like, who
timetable
gets this, who
would be-
gets that, when's this, you
Well,
know?
if you're paying quarterly, it seems like it would be reasonable that things should be updated quarterly, right?
right.
So, like I get a house sells this month, it's not gonna be, or sells in January. I don't expect by February 18th, it's gonna be updated.
Right.
But by March 15th.
Right, yes,
should
after
be
the closing,
updated.
it
Yeah.
definitely should be, yes.
So it's like quarterly, there should be at
Right.
least quarterly updates
Right.
done. So, yeah, it might be interesting
All right,
to
I'll
see
double
what
check.
that flow chart looks like.
Yeah,
Albert?
And I was just gonna ask, you know, the GIS software that they use, that is gonna be compatible with the Patriot system that we switched over to?
yeah, I think everything's gonna be compatible.
I
It
hope it
better
is.
be,
You know,
'cause-
and then access to the cloud, you know?
Right, yeah.
Are they gonna have to have access? Will we have to get another
the
port
map,
for them?
you mean them, the map company?
Yes.
I don't know how that works, if it's, because I don't know if they actually pull it off our web right now. I don't know if the listers just send them the detailed information and they update it from that. You know, I don't think they go into our web and do it that way.
Yeah, and when I looked at the deliverables on this contract, it is pretty much everything there. It sounded like it was paper stuff,
Right,
you know, and I was wondering if there was some electronic stuff that got updated,
right.
given to us too.
Their whole thing is they do get it, I'm sure they probably get it paper wise or however they transition it from the listers to them. And then they have to go in manually, I would think, to the map that's online and update that map so that when you go and you take a snapshot of a property and it shows the boundaries and it shows who owns it, that it's accurate, because,
Yeah, so they're supporting that map that's online, on the website.
yeah.
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 And then the one that the appraisal company is gonna do, it's gonna be on the cloud, or it's gonna be eventually put?
That's the information, they're not doing a map, they'll be
Yeah.
just the information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Just-
in their quote, I was looking at their quote, they were talking about how they use the GIS information that's provided,
Right,
you know,
yep.
for.
And from what they said, it sounded like they said a lot of information was missing. So they were gonna start from scratch and just redo everything, so it's all current, and I'm like, it's kinda like, why is it missing? if-
Unless they're gonna do everybody's boundaries,
Right.
what are you updating?
Right, well, I think a lot of the stats, like when they did it, like if you're going to reappraise a property, like the square footage and all that kind of stuff, a lot of that wasn't consistent, I think, with some of the properties. I think that's what they had said, shared, or that I got secondhand.
It still seems like, I mean, we're gonna pay the person who's coming in to do the appraisal, they're gonna do all that?
Yeah, the people who we hired are gonna go the house to house to do the reappraisal.
Right, but they're going to map everybody's property?
No, they're just doing reappraisals.
Right, so
Right.
who's doing like, gonna change, like, let's say you say my house is 1,200 square feet, but that it's not, who's making that?
I don't know if they'll do that too. I mean, if they're outside the house, because they're not probably going in,
Yeah.
and just see that a house has an expansion on it, then they would make note of it, I would think.
But that
but
should be
then-
in the lister's cards.
Yeah, I know, and they usually will say if a property's changed hands, or if it's like they don't think anything's on the property, and then they find out there is a building, then they go and check it out to see what that building is for square footage and things like that. So I don't know if it's gonna be a relationship between the two of them working it together. I just feel like there's a lot
A lot of holes.
of holes and a lot of overlap.
Yeah,
Well, I guess I don't understand the start from scratch thing.
Yeah, I'll get some definition for you.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so if we can I would find out like for the next meeting what the 3,000
yeah,
fee was. And then, maybe some idea what the flow chart looks like. House sells, comes downstairs, then does that come upstairs?
yeah.
What's the time frame before that goes to this company? once they receive it, it takes what, 60 days to update, you know?
Okay.
And how the data is compiled to create one file.
Right,
One snapshot of the property, because everything's got to
Yeah,
come
it's not
together.
gonna be one file, though.
and that's one thing.
Well, the
we're-
property already exists. All they're doing is all we're doing is updating it with this. So all that information is currently
And that's what
on
we.
a map and in a file now.
Right, and we talked about that downstairs, because I said, I questioned why we need X amount of files to build. It's like, you just take the file you have, I would think, and put the new information in the front, so you have a history of when the house originally sold, when it sold through the, time, who bought it, what the appraised
And I don't
value
even
was.
think on the file that it only shares who owns it and the last person that, if you look on it electronically, if you pull it up. I don't think you go back all the way to
Well, I'm
like,
talking about files, hard files.
yeah, but that's like a no-brainer that should be done.
Right. Right, and that's what we were questioning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll put that on next month's agenda.
Okay.
Okay, a motion will be in order to go into the Board of Water Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
6:12. All right, and the delinquent list was on your, on the table when you arrived?
Yep, I pulled off the wrong one, sorry, in your packets, so didn't mean to mess you up.
I think it would be a good idea tonight to start with some parameters to give direction, so in April, when we can start turning people off, that we don't have to wait for a meeting, that we're like good to go, on that day.
Yeah.
I think people that have broken their agreement, I mean, we don't have to send out information that you've broken your agreement.
Right.
So,
So I
and,
think what would be the best thing for me to do is go through this list and go through all the agreements I have that were actual agreements. See if anybody's made payments on those. Anybody who hasn't and broken the agreement, then come April 1st, we can go and shut those off.
yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna have to have a reasonable, or, actually, is it April 1st or the 15th? April 1st?
It's the first of the month, but
So, I mean, I would be happy if they did that all day, April 1st, rather than like 10, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
I think it's like, and they should be able to also tell you, as you line these out before April 1st, who can't be,
right.
and the reason why.
Yeah,
And then we're gonna have to look and see, based on whatever the number is, how you're gonna prioritize correcting that,
right.
I think.
Yeah, some more, details.
So I think if you would, at the next meeting, provide a list of broken agreements. And then I think anybody over, $1,000,
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
yeah,
Should be shut off.
yeah.
Should get a letter.
Yeah.
Well, if they've already gotten a letter and they broke their agreement, we don't have to send them another one.
Right, but there's a lot of these people who got a letter saying you're gonna be shut off, didn't do an agreement, and just started paying. So they can't be shut off. They
Okay.
have to get an agreement, have to have the opportunity for an agreement first.
Okay.
So
Can
that's what I'll
can
do.
we put the agreement in, say we have to have the agreement in place by, can we get those done and say we want those in place by March 20th?
The
So
agreement-
they have to sign the agreement and make a payment by March 20? Or does it
I'd
take,
have to wait till April.
to send out the agreement?
Yeah, I don't think I can make them, force them into an agreement in March. Because I can't shut them off if they don't do an agreement. You know what I mean? I'd have to wait anyway.
Well, I know, but if they have the agreement and it's already,
If they have an agreement, then I don't need to do anything.
so if you send it out to them on April 1st, an agreement, how much time do they have?
30 days.
They have 30 days to sign. They have to make a payment in those 30 days? Okay. So I think that would be good to know too. If we can have a list of broken and a list of new agreements.
What I was going to do this year is I kind of wanted to just do something like as a blanket, like a pink sheet, sending them out just to, because it's such a pain to keep track of, okay, I sent this agreement out, letters saying they'll be shut off. They don't come in, do an agreement, but then they start paying on it. And then it's like, well, if they don't keep paying, then I got to send them another letter with an agreement, and it's a bigger paper trail. Like send them all a letter, like you said, it arrives April 15th. Pink sheet saying you're a delinquent. If you do not come in and do an agreement, by May 1st, then you're going to be shut off.
Send it to everybody?
The ones who don't have agreements.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay.
Just to alert them more and just kind of.
Yeah, but if they've had and if they don't sign an agreement and they don't pay, they can just
Be
be,
shut up.
yeah, okay.
So the
So,
thing with these, like the ones who have agreements, technically the way it's written, if they have an agreement and they broke it, if we go to shut their water off, they have to pay it in full before we turn it back on.
well, the rest of us are all paying it in full, so. I mean, and that's the whole point. I mean, we've given some people multiple chances with
Right.
agreements and,
Yeah, because I know, like, looking at this list, there's certain people that haven't even been here a year and they're already over their years
Yeah.
delinquent.
yeah.
So they haven't paid since they moved in.
Yeah, we've got to get it under control.
Yeah.
It's getting out of control again, so. All right, so if you put those lists together, just so we can have them for next meeting. And then, so we're ready to go. And then I think along with that list, if you meet with Kyle and we just have from those lists, like, these 3 don't have a curb stop or whatever it is. So then we can have that information to start thinking about how we're gonna prioritize fixing that.
Yeah, and I kind of have, this is my sheet that I have.
Yeah.
created. It's my sheet. No, but I do have there, like, they have a shut off, but it's not in the right of way. They don't have a curb stop and
Yeah.
we're just gonna have to invest the money and start putting in curb stops.
Right, and that's the thing,
Yeah.
but we're gonna have to, we wanna look and do it, start high and
Yep,
do that, so, and then hopefully that will, once people start paying, that will be some of the money that we're at least getting back, so, yeah. Okay, anything else, questions, comments?
No, I think, the more information we got, and you're right, we gotta prioritize these ones that may have,
Yeah, but I can see where it's you're babysitting that spreadsheet to make sure you keep everything accurate,
Yeah,
Well,
but I do think like the ones that, it's not in the right of way or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Cleaning that up just makes it easier also because those people now know that.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
that just
yep.
makes it even worse. So I think that we've got to clean that up and start figuring out how we're gonna do that, so. Yeah, I mean, there were a few that got cleaned up because the house is sold, so.
Yeah,
I mean, that's always nice, but it's not enough to.
right, right. And there's some new ones on here now that weren't on it before, so that's kind of
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Okay. All right, anything else for water?
Nope.
All right. Motion will be in order to leave, is sewer the same thing?
The delinquent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything,
No, other than, I have it in my manager's report that I'm meeting with, Alderton Elliott Wednesday about the wastewater treatment plant, so.
Okay. So I don't see any need to go into
No.
sewer. I mean, same conversation, all right. Department reports, the sheriff's report. Any questions or comments on that?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not pulling every single date. And I went in again today and it still pulls the same dates, and he's gone till, I can't remember. He usually will run it for me, but he got one person for a hefty fine.
I know, I
Yes.
saw that, like,
Yeah,
yeah, that was like everything, right?
Oh, I know.
yeah, just about.
I should have stayed home that night.
Yeah, and your vehicle got towed,
I know, that's not even part of the 966.
yeah.
That's good though, at least they're, I've seen them about, out and about, so.
Yeah, all right. Manager's report,
I sent all the Mortimer Proctor grant applications in, on January 28th, not February 28th.
I was gonna say, first of all, that's impressive, because we're not there yet, and second of all, it's very late, so everyone should be quite upset.
And again, just to reiterate the annual reports that we got them, and they all went out. Public Works has been putting in a ton of overtime.
What does that line item look like? Is it blown?
Well, you know what? It's what's impacting a lot is we realized today is the VEMRs, the retirement, because they take out the percentage on total wages.
Oh,
So that's bumped that up a lot, which we don't really take in consideration when we're doing a budget line item. You think
Yeah.
here's their salaries, but yeah, I think one of them had 39 hours overtime, 20 something hours in overtime. So
yeah, that's a lot.
it is.
But the roads were good, they were through all that.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
They've kept them up really good. We just got more salt today, but we're still under budget.
Good.
So that's good. I did reach out to Tommy Grace actually that last storm as a backup just in case, because I had the two guys out in case it really came down and
Yeah.
we needed help, and he was willing to give
Yeah.
us some help. So, but they didn't need to use them. So
No, and they've kept them nice and wide too.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ones, which is nice also.
Yeah.
so.
Nice job.
yeah,
Okay, well, be ready for Thursday, right? Isn't that when they say the next one's coming?
Thursday and the weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday, I think it is, in the evening. I hope not. I'm so sick of it. I interviewed someone for the pool director position. I haven't reached back out to them just to confirm everything. I did share it with the Parks and Rec Committee about the individual, and they seem very excited. They would, I'd feel better talking about it once I put an offer out there
Yeah.
in executive session. But they're willing to get certified to be, for the program. And I think they do a good job. And talking to with people at the Parks and Rec that knew her too, they said that they think that it would be a good fit. So
Good.
I'm just hoping somebody's interested in wanting to do it. And then
Yeah.
we'll hopefully get some lifeguards in there. So
Great.
yeah, so spread the word when you talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Or I'm making all of you guys lifeguards this summer. Posted the bond warning in the Brandon Reporter, which will go in this week, next week, and the following week. That has been a total nightmare. Getting all that done and making sure it's the warning and it's worded right and it's posted in the right places and everything else. And so I think we're all good. The attorneys got back and gave us a list, and I said, yeah, I think we could check everything off. So
Good,
so we're
good.
good. So the wording that he was creating made it sound really difficult, and then he ended up basically confirming that the Monday night meeting can be the information meeting. So, because he said there was supposed to be so many days before voting, but then he said the way we worded it and did the announcement that it can be an informational meeting that night, and then we vote the next day. So we're good there.
Okay, that's good to know.
I know. Tell me
Because
about it.
I was under the impression that was gonna be. So.
Yeah, I know. But they started going, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here.
Yeah.
It's like, I reached out to our forester regarding the West Mountain and Florence Road. They kind of slowed down in December just because it got really wet up there. So they will pick up again in early spring, but he said he thinks they'll be doing a lot more up there still.
Over
in the
here?
spring. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and then I talked to him about Chittenden too, and we're gonna go, up there, and we're gonna discuss the potential of harvesting there.
Okay.
He said I said we need to cut trees, cause we haven't cut up there forever. And then he said still that other piece that's on the Pittsford property up here, he said he'd like to take a look at that, cause we might be able to harvest that this year,
Okay.
so.
So what is the plan say for, I mean, this property obviously isn't in current use because it lives in Proctor.
Right.
But Chittenden must have a plan that we have to follow.
The state has a plan, yeah, that we have to follow, and I think we're past due. I think it should have been harvested a few years ago.
2023, but that one meeting that we had with
But
Joe,
didn't-
he said you could put in for an extension. of it.
Yeah.
The plan went beyond 23, but the next scheduled harvest was scheduled to be done
Right.
for 2023.
So have we met with the Rutland County Forester to get that all okayed then?
No, we don't have to. I mean, it's our forester will just deal like he is here almost. I mean, we'll just deal with, it's more of the state, because it's state land up there and stuff like
It's
that.
in current use.
It's our land though.
It's in current use. It doesn't make any difference if it's our land. There's a plan on that property because
Right.
it lives in another community.
Right.
So we don't pay full taxes.
Right, but I don't believe it's through the Rutland County.
The Rutland County Forester signs off on your plan.
I don't know. If that's the guy who left, the one who left up there. There was a transition last year, year before, and he was retiring. He could have been our forester though. So, but I'll reach out and figure that out.
Let's cover our bases.
Well, the plan should be in here in a book with the map of where we're supposed to be harvesting.
Oh, I don't know if there's a book in there, but it might be. If it was in the last couple of years, there's not going to be a book probably. It's probably going to be
Well,
electronic.
Well, then the Rutland
I've got
County
a book.
Forester has
Yeah,
it.
we were given a book somewhere, when we had the meeting with him.
With this forester?
I believe it was, because I've got a book that shows all the plots in Chittenden. I don't remember if there was 16 or 17 plots laid out.
Right, yeah, I
They're
remember that, but
projected-
that was pre this forester, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still, if we don't
It's
have
a
it
plan.
here, then we just call the Rutland County Forester and they have to have it on file there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we better have it here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean. Okay.
Let's see, working on the highway grant application and a grant to assist in writing zoning regulations. We have a planning commission meeting this Thursday, and the Rutland Regional Planning Commission is coming to talk about the grant application and assisting us with writing the zoning regulations to put in that Act 250 piece about subdivisions. So, and the grant is, because we don't have anything in our zoning regulations right now referring to that, the grant is 100% covered, so there's no match for it.
But it's only putting that in zoning or it's helping you update
It's
all
helping
zoning?
updating
Okay.
the whole zoning, yeah. The unfortunate part is it's like through the state, which it's through Gears, which is,
Oh, it's not with Rutland Regional? Oh.
so, Gears is not friendly user. He said it's been updated. They updated the software, so it's better now, but we'll see. So, yeah, they took some of the things away from Rutland Regional Planning, the state, because they want to take it over. So
Oh,
it's not a good thing,
no.
because Rutland Regional Planning is on top of everything. I mean, they're on top of things and know exactly what's going on. They're a huge help, so it's kind of
Well,
frustrating.
and they know the region,
Right.
so when they're help making updates, it's not just like this kind of bird's eye view that the state often
Right.
has. And things, like when they say, oh, well, Castleton's doing that, why can't Proctor do
Right.
that?
And then I mentioned about A&E coming down this Wednesday, so
Okay.
and that's it.
Alrighty. Any questions for Judy? Once you meet with A&E and they decide like what they're doing, I don't know if they're gonna do like a presentation, laptop or whatever like that.
Uh-huh.
Then we'll need to reach out to the school to figure out what you're gonna need, like
Right.
Because for the Promethean boards and like that to be set up
Yeah.
to show from the
Right.
laptop, so I don't
Yeah.
know if he's doing that, or if they're
He
just-
hasn't said yet, so I don't know if he's gonna have just some big, drawings up there and
Yeah.
stuff, as estimates, or if he is gonna walk through and do a small presentation, so.
Okay.
But I'll find that out Wednesday. And, I don't know if PEG TV will be there Monday for the meeting, because they had concerns that because what we're discussing, we're taking action on the next day before it's even televised, that it was like, what's the point? So.
Well, you're voting from the floor on things.
Right, but it's not gonna be televised till after the fact, so
Oh.
he didn't feel it was justified, but I said, we need to have it recorded. That's a mandate, and I said it was just gonna save me a lot of headaches if they would do it, so.
Well,
So he's gonna reach out and see. what
okay,
they say.
otherwise, we could see if we could get someone from the school to record it. I mean, it might just be like a camera, just a.
Right, yeah, and it doesn't, I don't think it has to be recorded visually, it has to be recorded so you have voice. That's, the audio is the biggest thing.
Oh,
And that's the biggest, it's such a pain, cause you're talking to, getting
Well,
everybody,
yeah, so that makes it even harder in that arena also because.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe we're better off just having something and recording it, because then you could just have it on a table right there at the front.
Right.
And then,
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we have is a small thing that's, I don't know what's gonna pick up,
uh,
a voice recorder.
I mean,
I'd hate to invest something big for one
You
day.
rent something like that?
well, let's ask the school what they might have for,
All right.
and it just has to be just a voice recording.
I think it's just a voice recording, yeah, like tape, like, just like here, if we weren't, if they couldn't see us, but we were recording it, on the cloud, that's good,
Okay. All right. I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
mean,
I'll check into it too, well, I'll find out too tomorrow about what they say, but,
well, do that. Let me know what they say first before
Yeah.
before I look into
Okay.
that.
and then I'll look at some other towns and what they're doing too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other old or new business? Anybody have anything? Nothing? A motion will be in order at 6:33 to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.